So I'm excited here to introduce the newest member of the Communicating Love team.
Hello.
And so Lisa, tell us what you like to do.
Well, I like to work with people that are going through transition. A lot of times a transition or a crisis can knock us off our balance and affect our self-esteem. And I like to help people be able to access the tools or develop the tools they can to calm themselves. And then to get to know themselves again, to find out what their strengths are, and then to use their strengths and their values to connect with other people in healthy ways.
That's great. So how did you decide to be a counselor?
Well, I think it has been prepared. I've been prepared most of my life. I'm a mother of 5 children, and I've been involved in the community for several years, and I was interested in human development and family systems. And so as I've watched other families, as I've watched people go through crisis, and as I've gone through crisis myself, I've developed a level of understanding how the process to regain strength and progression moves. And I think that that prepared me when I saw a need in my children and the counseling not available in the community, that I was able to realize that I could get the credentials to help others in the same situation I might be in.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What kind of hobbies do you do?
My husband and I do a lot of home fixing, interior design. That's one of our fun things is just planning, updating our home. I quilt, I sew.
All right. So I think it's interesting that you're a coach. Tell us about that if you can.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I am coaching my son's basketball team. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes. There was a need for a coach, and I wanted him to have a good experience, so I said I would do that, and not really knowing much about basketball, but I'm learning as I go along and realizing that it's a lot like running groups in counseling and just bringing people together and focusing on the basics. So yeah, I'm learning a lot in coaching and finding that it really applies to the work that I want to do in counseling.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess I'd never made the connection before, and running groups was like running a team, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's similarities.
It's always about bringing harmony and human relationships.
Yeah, and you're working towards a common goal.
Yeah.
And how do you work together with different skills, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And how old's your son, the coach?
He's, oh my goodness, he's 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah, it's his first year of basketball, so we're learning together.
All right, lots of fun.
Yeah. What is your vision for the counseling agency that you're putting together?
Yeah. Okay, so my vision for Communicating Love is to be the Treasure Valley's most access source for meeting marriage and family, to give marriage and family help. In my career of over 25 years now, half of what I've done is marriage counseling and half mental health, and they often overlap.
Right.
And so there's a whole lot of good to be able to help people in the community. It's my vision to be able to really enhance everyone's awareness that marriage can be successful. It can be loving, not just for the honeymoon period,
Right.
but for lifelong and forever.
And what tools do you use to help them realize that they can be better than what they're experiencing right now?
Yeah. So the basics, everyone comes in, it seems like, hey, we need some communication tools. So that's always a foundational part of that, is to teach communication skills to help couples overcome those emotional blocks.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so creating the safety in that, and that's a whole nother little video that I'll be putting together. And to create the safety so that individuals in the relationship can share what they really want to share without being blasted or judged. to be heard and understood. And so it's nurturing the good side of communication to build that bond, that emotional connection. And when we have the emotional connection, that helps in all other areas of the relationship. And so it's a whole wide variety of things. Originally, at least my training was with Harville Hendricks, way back now.
Okay.
So the Gottmans, and then
Yes.
emotion-focused therapy,
Okay.
a little of everything
Yeah.
and that. And so, of course, I learned a lot from my wife.
Mm-hmm.
We've been married 24 years.
Okay.
And so, no, actually 34 years.
34.
34
okay, that's
years.
quite a bit more.
Yeah. We've been married 34 years, and
Okay.
as I see couples that come in that have been married 35 years, I'm thinking, whoa, it's just an ongoing, lifelong learning to develop the relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it was kind of dear to my heart when a woman came and said, I've been married 62 years, and I can't stand my husband.
Oh.
So, out on the ranch, at 92, he finally retired.
Wow. That
And
sounds
so he
great.
says, I'm not used to him being underfoot. So he's coming home and he's trying to tell her how to clean the kitchen and run the house like he does the ranch, as if she can't, as if she hasn't already done it for 62 years.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I met her just a couple times to get a few communication tools to help set the boundaries and find a better balance for them to get along.
Okay.
And once that was learned, they were fine.
Yeah. Just it's those little tweaks, and it sounds like safety is almost the base of it. And
Yeah,
then being
yeah,
able to communicate, be aware of your emotions, and be able
Right.
to communicate them effectively.
yeah. That is the base. That's the foundation
Right.
of all communications, to have that safety, that emotional safety.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of ways to create that and nurture and support and strengthen that. And so that is a major part. So, with that vision of helping everyone in the valley enjoy marriage and all relationships, the marriage relationship has a lot to do with our individual. Like you were saying,
Absolutely. Yeah.
you're talking about, in so many words, how self-esteem is important to help youth and everyone learn. And that's a big part of marriage counseling as well, is developing that core.
Right.
Yeah. And of course that spills over into if an individual has some mental illness or different challenges, emotional or social, those things, when we learn individually how to do better, then that helps our relationships as well.
Yeah, that's something that has been fascinating me is understanding the mental illness piece and how that relates to the family and their relationships, and how can we help those with mental illness and those living with others with mental
Right.
illness.
Yeah, and it's a whole continuum on a little bit of problems and a lot of challenges.
Right.
And so that's just human life. There's no one perfect. We all have challenges. We all have things to learn how to cope with, manage, to be compassionate about, to be loving, and that's the whole basis of communicating love, is finding ways to do that. Learning to dissolve away the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
So with that vision, our mission is to guide individuals and couples in repairing, enhancing, and refining their relationships through loving communication. And so that, of course, brings the values of love and compassion and forgiveness. And so I'd like to invite everyone to come learn and grow, work hard in your relationship and make it better. And if you would like some more help, we're here to help. We'll do what we can. And we have a lot of confidence in our ability to help you fine-tune and improve your relationship.